If you want to have the best relationship that you can have with your partner, you should start arguing naked. It's what one couple says works for them. They have a great relationship, they both say. Say when you're in the heat of the moment, you both have to strip off all of your clothes, and then you can continue the argument. But rarely it continues.
So say they get down pretty quick.
Yeah, and then afterwards you're like, okay, I'm not as mad as I was.
I like the idea of you instead of arguing, you have sexy time. I think it's a great idea.
Sure. I mean, it might not always lead to that right away. Like you could be really mad about something and then you're not giving that up. But it makes it better. It's like the same idea that when you're giving a big speech and you're really nervous, they always say, imagine everybody naked.
Yeah.
So I think it calms you down. It distracts you a little bit.
Well, can you imagine if you were getting in a fist fight and then you stripped down completely naked? The fist fight would probably stop.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to fight a guy all naked and wrestle around.
If a guy got naked, and I would be like, dude, you can.
That ends it.
You win the fight.
That ends it, right?
I'm out.
Doesn't that happen sometimes in movies and stuff? Like somebody just, if you don't want to do it, you do. You take off all your clothes.
I've seen it on some like videos on YouTube and stuff. And it's like, no, thank you. Because,
Maybe that's more jackass stuff. I was thinking.
Because you have to roll. You'll be rolling around. Fighting is not as clean as the movies.
No,
you know
no.
what I mean? Fighting's messy. You'll be like hugging, rolling around together on the ground, and fighting and kicking and all that stuff.
Yeah. In the movies, it's choreographed. And it looks like they know what they're doing.
And you're like, I punch in the face. You punch me in the face. No, it ends up on the ground.
Yeah, every time. But that's just one unique relationship rule that a couple set for themselves, and they say it works for them every time.
Okay.
So
can I tell you what else works?
What?
If in the middle of the fight, the girl just all of a sudden comes up to you and starts being sexual, that's it. Right away, that will stop the argument.
I could only see that if she feels like she is in the wrong.
Right, but I'm saying even if she is wrong or right, if you really want to stop an argument, start doing something sexually to the guy.
Yeah, now we're talking. And now we're talking.
Yeah, but I would never do that if I really legit thought I was right.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm just saying, if you want to stop and have a better relationship.
I see what you're saying. It ain't going to happen. Well, I would never want to do that if I was trying to prove my point. But if I knew I was wrong.
Well, but I think for a lot of guys, and maybe Jason, I don't want to know your situation, but I think we've talked about it before, or Matt's or Squid's, is if you're not a shower, like getting naked and fighting, you're at like a severe disadvantage. You feel way less
Fine,
manly.
you won just on mine.
Yeah, no.
Underperformance.
All right, we're paying off our clothes. Okay, you
win. Maybe that's why it works.
Maybe.
It's like the threat of getting naked in front of your partner.
And you're not aroused? Like, no thanks.
And Katie,
you're like a little fat kid or something.
When you're in the middle of an argument with your husband, Ben, how many times do you actually think you're wrong?
Oh, rarely. I think maybe once. Never? I mean, that's why we're in an argument to begin with, because I think I'm right.
Okay, so that my point is, if you do the sexual advances, especially the girl, because the guy doing it doesn't work.
No.
The girl doing
Don't
it to the guy
me.
will just, exactly.
Don't touch me.
It will stop immediately. So
yes.
That's what I'm saying. Even if you're right. If you want to have a better marriage, and pay attention for the rest of the population in the triad. Women all around, if you want to stop the argument and have a better relationship, just do the sexy time. And then after the sexy time, you can have a discussion about it, but it won't be nearly as heated.
Yeah, you'll forget
relax.
about it.
Well, that's the whole idea behind this getting naked thing.
And the guy will never be, I don't care how mad he is at you, be like, don't touch me. No, I need my space. He'll be like, all right, I will.
Okay, fine.
Let's get down.
I'll do it mad.
So I dated a girl for a little while when I was in college, and she had that strategy. We would be texting, arguing about something, and I think as soon as she realized she was wrong, she would just send me a naked picture.
And you did not wipe her up.
Because I was like, I guess I win.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because like in the moment, because she's not there, so I'm just like, I'm heated. We're having this discussion, and then and I'm just like, thank you. It's kind of a weird situation to be put in when you're feeling one very extreme emotion to then be like, oh, there's your boobs.
Yes.
Wow.
And that in that particular case, did it help resolve the argument?
Well, resolve the argument? No. Stop the argument? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But nothing got resolved because you just end the conversation because now it's like, oh, there's your boobs. Cool.
Yeah. We're very
They're
simple
so
creatures.
easily distracted.
Very simple creatures.
Because then what would happen is, 3 or 4 days later, it would get brought back up
Oh.
because nothing was ever fixed.
I need your boobs again.
Yeah, if you knew your girl was that way, I'd start fights all the time. You didn't take the trash out. You promised you would. Okay, I'll have sex with you.
Okay,
We can have
fine.
sex, I guess. I'll take out the trash now. Don't worry, I got it.
Well, it's interesting, Matt, that you say that was the way that your old girlfriend from many years ago used to fight, because according to another couple, they say the most unique relationship rule that they have that helps them have their best relationship ever is having all of their big fights over text.
Oh, I hate
I
that.
don't see how
That's
this
the
is
worst.
beneficial.
That's not good at all.
I can't even take a hey the right way. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
well, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Are
You
you
see the
mad?
way Jason said hey to me in a
Yes.
text. I'm like, I think he said hey.
It is the
can't.
contact.
I do it too.
We've had more problems at work that I've experienced, that somebody writes an email to somebody and they
Oh.
take it a completely different way, or vice versa,
Mhm.
and it comes into like almost reporting to HR.
Yeah.
But the one thing about text messaging, you don't physically hear how loud it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't physically hear how, like, when I'm text messaging, it's talk to text. The thing doesn't even understand what I'm saying when I'm yelling anyways. I'm like, why did you say I did that? And it doesn't understand what I'm saying because of the way you're saying it. So I think that's probably what they're saying is you do eliminate that part.
Plus, when you
Well,
hear someone's voice, it does
yeah.
kind of, depending on how they're talking, but it does kind of, you're like, oh yeah, it's a person.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it's like, and then you
Yes.
think, oh wait, and you can really understand where they're coming from.
And see their face and their facial expressions and stuff.
Even if it's a phone call, it's still better than
that's
a
true.
text.
And my old phone too, if I used to curse, it used to be like XXX. It would it would
It censored you?
Yeah, it
Really?
censored out on my swear. So it was really like humiliating because it's like I would get more mad, and all this is like FXXXXXXXXXXXX.
How often do you swear that your phone's like, bro, that's enough?
It just did it all the time. It doesn't do it
Dude,
now.
chill, bro.
Relax.
Well, this couple, they say that the reason that they choose to have all of their big fights over text message says it forces you to slow down and think about your response, because you think it and then you have to type it out.
Nope.
And then also they say it creates a paper trail so you can prove what someone said or didn't say.
Oh
That's a good
yeah.
point, yeah.
Like,
Hey,
that's
there's
good.
an app you can get where you can record anyone's phone call. I'll tell you about it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not free.
And that's legal here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's legal in this state. It's legal to record. Only one person has to know about the recording,
Uh-huh.
but the broadcast part is the problem. But that's a
Oh.
whole
Yeah,
different
yeah, yeah.
story. We get
Okay.
off there.
Most people are not broadcasting it.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most
If you're in a difficult situation, it comes in handy.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't say that like, oh, you didn't?
like, ask me how I know. No,
Play the tape.
right.
Play the digital recording.
Well, another unique relationship rule, and this is not just all about fighting. This is just ways that people make themselves have the best relationship ever. One couple says, we have a chicken nugget tax. If either of you make them, buy them, or receive them, you have to bring one nugget to the other person before you eat any.
Okay. Just in
Just-
general.
this
I
is
love
how we
it.
do.
Okay.
Just
I
how
love
you do.
it.
And nothing
Okay.
is more tempting to have in your hands than a hot, crispy box of McNuggets.
Yes.
And imagine having to give
Yeah.
one to your partner first. That's
Uh-huh.
love.
It is love.
That's
Yeah.
love.
That's a hot mustard. I did see a meme recently, Kate. It kind of goes along this
Yeah.
line. Not a meme. It's a real thing. It's a. I can't remember where I saw it, but it's a restaurant and it had a menu and everything on it, and then it had the pricing like a normal menu.
Oh, I know.
Do you see what it said? And it
Yes.
was like, girlfriend not hungry, $4.95. Well, that means that they're going to eat off your plate anyway.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I thought that was hilarious and great.
No, I'm fine. I'm not really hungry.
We're going to charge you $4.95 anyway.
I don't think I've ever said that, ever. Oh, I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
If anything, don't eat my fries.
Right. Don't touch them.
Another way that these are unique relationship rules that couples have that make them have the best relationship ever. And it's not all about fighting, but they'll say, we have separate groceries. That way, you're not taking the last of my butter. You're not using the last of my milk.
Yeah.
You're not using the my last egg or whatever. It says it saves them a lot of trouble.
If it works for them,
that
it seems like a
seems-
hassle.
It
But yeah.
does. It seems like
You
a
gotta buy
hassle.
works.
two of everything, basically.
Right, yeah.
And then it's the whole point is sharing. Now, I understand if it's something particular, something unique that you bought that you just wanted, right?
Right.
But if you're talking about the milk or the butter, the most common things,
Right. I knew
That would be
somebody
terrible.
years ago that they had that, but that stuff in their house was theirs,
Uh-huh.
and no one else could eat it. And it was like, really?
yeah.
It became a problem. Like, you're the only one that has stuff that's just for you.
That's just it.
everyone has to eat around you.
Yeah. We buy, like, I buy certain things because Ben likes them.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not going to touch it because I don't want it. And he'll buy certain things for me, but it's not like that's off limits.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, but if you wanted some, let me try that.
Yeah.
Most
I'm
of
like,
the
no.
stuff that is off limits for me, I don't want anyways. Is some kind of diet pack
Oh,
or
yeah.
something like that I would never want.
Don't touch
Like,
that.
Carol, that's safe.
And then finally, another way that couples say that their unique rule that makes their relationship the absolute best, they have on-demand makeout sessions at any time. One partner can say, I need 30 seconds. And then you have to give them 30 seconds of uninterrupted kissing.
I love
I
it.
can see
Says,
that.
Oh, wow.
Brings them together,
yeah.
you bond, you have an emotional connection for 30, you feel better about
I had
the
a
day.
friend, Drew, I told you about. He don't live here anymore, but he
You
said,
make out with him?
oh, yeah.
He needed 30
Anytime
seconds.
he got on my nerves.
Yeah.
He starts, he's like a Duke fan. He's getting on my nerves. I'm like, all right, let's make out. No, but he told me that years ago, and it stuck with me. Your person has to be involved. Want to do it. But he says every time he sees his wife when he comes home from work or whatever, they stop and kiss every time, every
stop
single
and
day.
kiss,
Makes a
or are they
difference.
making out for 30
Well, he said it
seconds?
usually leads to more, but he said it stops and he said it's like this connection, and then he said the fighting went way down.
Yeah, I can see
Way
that.
down.